What is up, everybody? This is Alex from IHE TV. Today I'm talking about Spike Lee's film Highest to Lowest, an extremely loose interpretation remake of Akira Kurosawa's High and Low, a film I somehow hadn't seen until a couple days ago, and a review should be going up on Sardonicast in the next coming weeks. An incredibly bizarre project, which I had more hope in, because, I don't know, I like Spike Lee. He's kind of all over the place as a director, but BlacKkKlansman was good, Do the Right Thing's really good. I still need to see Malcolm X, but Inside Man's a fun heist movie. The Five Bloods was his last film. Before this, which I enjoyed. I still need to see American Utopia. I don't know how I think I own it on Blu-ray, I just haven't got around to watching it yet. But Highest to Lowest is more in line with Old Boy, unfortunately, a remake of another Asian classic piece of cinema. I'm not inherently against the idea of remaking a movie if you have some kind of cool slant or artistic reinterpretation. Something like Suspiria shows that it can be done, but this from every angle is pretty terrible, which is surprising considering some of the people attached to this. The reason I had hope for this is going off of High and Low. A big section of the movie is kind of like a bottle movie set in the same location. So the idea of seeing Denzel and Jeffrey Wright bounce off each other and just focus on the blocking and performance in one location could have been really cool. But just about every choice that made the original clever is warped for reasons that I just can't really justify or understand. I think it begins at a script level because when you look at it on IMDb, for example, it shows Evan Hunter, who is the writer of the original book that High and Low was based on, then Akira Kurosawa and a bunch of other people who wrote and produced the original High and Low film are credited before the actual person who wrote the screenplay for this film, Alan Fox, who when you look at his account, it's like, is this a throwaway? Like, you're remaking one of the most beloved movies in history, and like, this is the guy you choose to do the screenplay? Very odd. And it's not like Spike Lee's direction is able to elevate this, frankly, terrible screenplay. Because this is a wild picture. It's quite incompetent in many different ways. From the opening titles, to the dialogue, to the pacing, to the music, every single technical element is all over the place. There are a few screen wipes in the original movie, High and Low, and they kind of pay ode to it, but in the goofiest way possible. They do a screen wipe a couple times with this logo that's on his hat. He's a CEO of a record company in New York. And they do a couple of wipes with this like PNG of his company's logo sliding across the screen. And like a lot of things in this movie, it has incredible unintentional comedy to it. Even if there are attempts at good scenes or if there is a good piece of performance, it is often smothered and hidden under one of the strangest soundtracks I've seen implemented into a movie in a while. Settling for this whimsical tone, it's so strange. There are chase sequences that have this music playing that gives it an unintentional comedy. It is so bizarre. It just kneecaps itself constantly. Compounded further by the fact that Jeffrey Wright, who like I normally really like, he just can't work with this dialogue. There's one decent scene towards the end with Denzel and A$AP Rocky having this kind of rap battle, but even then it's full of continuity errors. And even though this is actually shorter than the original High and Low, it feels a lot longer. All of the attempts to modernize the story by making about the music industry and including phones and phone addiction, phone bad commentary, sort of AI and Nepo kids and this kind of stuff all comes up. But going back to the performances, the woman who plays Denzel's wife in this film is not just bad, but like atrocious. She's playing a character that's going through a big emotional moment. She thinks her son has been kidnapped, and her response is so weirdly downplayed and unbelievable. And in the original, it's like a little boy that's the target of the kidnapping, but it's like, it's grown-ass man here. And the whole hook or moral quandary of that original is almost thrown aside and abandoned completely with how they redesign Denzel's relationship to who in the original was just his chauffeur. Where in this, the guy who's kidnapped is Denzel's godson, which removes so much of the moral complexity from it, because the distance that the shoe CEO has from his chauffeur is the whole point of the class commentary that it's going for. Because it's all about music, you have like Ice Spice showing up. I'm not joking. There she is, look. And seeing as the Apple logo is there, I might as well mention this, because this is on Apple TV+. The product placement is egregious. Apple iPhones everywhere, Beats headphones everywhere. It's so lazy and cynical, which is ironic considering the point of this version of this story is trying to make a commentary on how lazy and cynical the music industry is, but winds up being this big product with a score so notably bad. It's like, what? You've made your music movie, like, embarrassing. Then you have lines in this movie, some of the dialogue is laugh out loud funny. When Denzel's son is having a go at him, he says something like, "You got the best ears in the business, but the coldest heart. It's just played so seriously. Pure melodrama, made-for-TV Hallmark feeling to it. Going as far as that, there's a line towards the end of the movie that does the Family Guy meme of, oh, when they say the name of the movie in the movie itself. You was at your highest, I was at my lowest. It's like, really, man? Thanks for explaining that. I don't think I would have picked up on it otherwise. Not to mention some of the, like, preachier stuff in the film. Denzel's 17-year-old son has a very prominent giant Kamala Harris poster in his bedroom, and it's like, really, man? Yeah, every 17-year-old boy's favorite. There are ways they could have modernized this story with clever twists. It definitely takes a completely different approach to the police procedural stuff. Gives a lot more agency to Denzel and Jeffrey Wright instead of kind of handing it over to the cops. But everyone is so unlikable and stupid that it's hard to ever take it seriously. There's zero tension, it's plodding, it's low energy. I really expect better from this team. Then you look at how well this is reviewed. Really high Metascore, ridiculously high tomato meter. I just am struggling to understand the creative inspiration behind this, because it's so lazy and embarrassing. Someone needs to put together a best of funny moments from this film, because it can be hilarious unintentionally. I think I'm going to leave it there. As I mentioned, the next Sardonicast will go into more detail on both high and low and highest to lowest. I thought I'd chuck this up for those who don't listen. So let me know if you did enjoy this film and why, because normally I can at least see why a film is reviewing well and understand it on some level, but this one is really kind of baffling to me. Denzel's charisma wasn't enough to elevate how stupid this is. Right, see you on the next vid. Bye!